Okay, YouTube, this is my 1983 Yamaha Virago project. The project that we are working on today is the stator. So the stator was not giving off the proper voltage to the battery. The battery was losing charge, which makes you realize the stator is the exact same thing as an alternator does in a car. It is run off of magnetic coils. So this is kind of how it works, and then I will show you what I have done so far in order to get it fixed up. So this is the side of your bike here. So this is the left side of the bike, and one of the things that you'll notice here are the bullet holes, or the holes for the bolts. So one thing that I have done here, and you will definitely want to do, is make a diagram. I just use a box and made a diagram of the side of the bike. And what you can do with that is you want to make sure always that every single bolt that you are pulling off of your side of the bike will be in the exact position as it came out. If you do not put those in the exact same position, then you could wind up stripping bolts, and it's a real pain, and that's why you'll see I have a couple different bolts in there because I had to retap some of the bolt holes because I was not following my own directions. So make sure you do that. So this right here is the stator. You can see that I just pulled off the top and laid it sideways. One of the things that you'll also notice here is that I did not remove the clutch cable. It's kind of a pain to take off, so you can just spin this sideways to get around from taking that off and keeping your clutch fully intact. So it's easy to take off. Stator, you just take these 1, 2, 3 bolts off here. You pull off. This was the original one here, right there. So it just comes right out of there. It's already got the new plugs here, so that's pretty nice. One of the things that I do want to note here is this is where your wiring goes. It's got a nice little pocket here. All of the oil will stay inside here. This pocket right here will run your wires. When I first bought this bike, some guy had it all the way up here, so you want to make sure you're tucking those wires into that little pocket so that you're not crimping the sides here and causing your oil leaks. So make sure that you really pay attention to that. So that's basically how you do it. You just pull it off, put it back on. One thing to note here is this is very, very important. This right here keeps the wire away from that flywheel. The flywheel is going to spin around here, causing that magnetic coil, that magnetic impulse to hit those pickup coils. The pickup coils are hooked up to this wire, which goes up to your CDI box. The CDI box will distribute the power to the spark plugs. Spark plugs will give you a spark to your engine. So it spins around very fast. So that's why this is very important right here, to make sure this is completely tightened down so that you don't get any play in here and your flywheel can spin right around this area. Okay, so one of the things that also I'll show you is the infamous starter clutch, and that's what this is. This right here is how to put it together. This is just a very simple diagram, very useful diagram. Each piece needs to make sure it's in place in the exact position. One thing you'll notice here, the aftermarket fix, the install washer here. So what I did, I went down to DMB and I got one of the rubber grommet washers, and this will actually stick right to the outside of the piece. This piece right here goes right onto your starter. The starter will spin this. This will kick off over here, and this will smash into your flywheel this way. The flywheel will kick over your bike, and there you have it. But this right here gives it a little bit less time to move into position, which causes that nasty grinding noise, very embarrassing, very loud noise that you're going to get from when you try to start the bike. So that should fix a lot of the problems that we're seeing there. So plugs right in here. You'll have to play with it a few different times. You just make it loose at first, but slide it in there. Once it gets a nice little seal in there, then you'll be good to go, and should be no issues. And then you just put this guy back on, and you should be ready to roll. You got any questions? Let me know.